Hey guys, Civilord here, back again with another review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Mattel Masterverse Masters of the Universe New Eternia Jitsu, Hong Kong Phooey himself. So before we get into the meat and taters of this review, let's kindly move Mr. Jitsu out the way. Not Mr. Miyagi, I'll get them mixed up. Here's a quick look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. Again, more awesome Nate Barch artwork. And quick side note, Jitsu's a good guy now? Question mark. I guess it kind of makes sense considering out of all the evil warriors, he feels the most out of place because he's just a dude. But at the same time, I'm so used to him being kind of the anti-Fisto. It's a little weird seeing him as a good guy. But whatever. I'm okay with that. Although I would much prefer more of maybe an anti-hero of some kind or some kind of a neutral force, kind of like Zodak, which I really need to get that new Eternia Zodak. That's it. Those are the ones I'm missing. I don't have Zodak or Katra or the CGI He-Man and Skeletor, but that said, so long, sayonara, see you later, have a nice day, get the heck out of here. You guys know what we do with packaging around here. We don't need that crap. It's just cardboard. Gonna deteriorate anyways, probably quicker than the figures. Pin the camera up again. Hopefully you could see Jitsu and all of his Jitsu-ness, because I am using the white background like I did with the Battle Armor He-Man. But as far as his accessories are concerned, he comes with a single turn your head and cough hand. Why does Jitsu not have a fist? What the heck? He's a master of martial arts. That involves punching, not just slapping and chopping. Not to mention, he's already got the perfect chop hand. Why does he need two of them? I don't know. I'm never satisfied, I guess. If anyone was going to come with like all the hand options, it should have been Jitsu. What the heck? The mold exists. It came with Fisto. Just saying. Other than that, though, he does come with some extra armor bits, like the samurai skirt, which has the little snap on the back. Unlike Battle Armor He-Man, though, it's not like a rectangle. It's more of a circle. So be careful with that. You don't want to tear it. He also has this gauntlet, which is packaged with him, but I took it off because he usually just has a bracer and not one of those. He does not come with a bracer, but you could probably find one of those. The Faker comes with a removable bracer. I almost want to say the Viking He-Man's got a removable one, too, which probably worked better on this guy, but don't quote me on that. But you can definitely find a bracer for this guy if you really wanted to. Comes with a Oni Mask, which I quite like. I think that's cool. Kind of like the G.I. Joe classified Blue Ninjas. One of those had one of those types of mask. And last but not least, he of course comes with his katana sword, which can actually store in this scabbard here. Backwards, mind you. Well, actually, I don't know about this way, but if this was on his back, this would not be facing the right way. If I pull this out and do it this way, if I can even get it in there, I don't even think I could get it in there this way. No, not really. Let me try it. Let me actually do it this way. See, if this was hanging off his back, this is how you would want it to face, because when you go to draw it, it will come out like this. Whereas if you do this, it'll go whoop, and like pretty much wind up in your other hand. So, yeah. Just a little bit of a side note for anyone who wants to make sword scabbards for figures. Make sure they're facing the right way if they have a curved blade like that. Taking a closer look at Jitsu, though. I did actually have to heat up his foot and pop it on there all the way. It feels like it's on there all the way now. I mean, compared to the other side. There's a tiny gap there, but it was like twice as big before. And I also pinched the foot a little bit, so it could stiffen up. But yeah, it's not popping off like it was. It feels like it could, but it's not. That said, he also has the camel toes. But yes, he's got the ninja shoes, which I quite like. That's a nice little change they did. Now, am I tripping, or was this guy originally advertised with shoulder pauldrons? I could have sworn he was. Like the samurai shoulder pauldrons. I want those now that they are not here. Because samurais have shoulder armor. And that would have been really cool if they could have maybe done what they did with the battle armor He-Man and had him snap onto the arms and have him kind of go up and over the shoulder. That would have been really sick and made this guy a little bit better. Because he's kind of on the light side as far as what's that, articulation? Accessories are concerned, because Battle Armor He-Man comes with so much. This guy comes with, like, jack squat. And I know it's He-Man and Jitsu, but come on, man. Balance it out a little bit, will ya? That said, as far as articulation goes, his head can look up and down. Can look side to side. His arms go out, back down, forward and back. And I will say, of all of them, he was kind of the worst offender with the rotation side to side. His head got the most stuck, but it works okay now. Does have a bicep swivel. Does have a double elbow. It does work. Like so. Again, no bracer because I took it off temporarily. Does have a wrist swivel with a hinge. Wrong one again, but it is what it is. And then on this side, he just has a swivel for his blinged out hand there. So if you like that, yay. If not, well, that's kind of stupid because, well, what else do you want? This doesn't need a hinge. It's a solid gold hand. That said, I do like that they vacked it out. It's made out of ABS, so that's not going to chip off very easily. It does have a diaphragm joint, kind of hindered by the armor. It's my stupid nose again. It does tilt as well. Waist twist works. I will say on him it was kind of stuck, and I had to be careful with it, but there is no issues now. His loincloth looks different from Battle Armor He-Man's. Where did I put him? It is different. Huh. I wonder if this is a Revelation loincloth. It's kind of what it looks like. That said, it does have T-jointed hips kick out, back down, forward and back. It's got the thigh cut there. Double knee. Which on that side doesn't want to go. On this side. This side a little looser. Ah, there we go. Sweet. There you go. Double knee. It's got the boot cut. Hinge at the foot. With a rocker. And peg holes at the bottom of the feet. I can stand him up okay. I think, does he have the same boot? No, he does not. He's got different boots too, because he doesn't have the knife. I don't know if these are Revelation boots or not. Maybe that's why he's got the short end of the stick as far as I almost said articulation again. Accessories go, because it almost looks like he might have new boots and loincloth, but I think they're just Revelation boots and loincloth. I could be wrong though. Heck, this might be the Revelation Fisto body. I have no idea. That would make sense because he's got this over here. Maybe that's what this is. Because does he have a bracer on this side, Fisto? I think he does. That said, speaking of all that, let's gear this guy up. Because, well, that's the part of the video you guys would probably rather see, right? So let's pop this gauntlet on. I wish there was an easier way to do that, but unfortunately, that is not. I can get that hand in there. That's kind of a pain in the nougats. I wish this gauntlet had some snaps on it, like the Beastman one, even though that has a tendency to slip and slide and go all over the place willy-nilly. There we go. So that's more or less what he looks like stock, without anything. I mean, he's got a bracer now. The armor's a little bit more stylized, but I took that off just so you could see what a more traditional looking Jitsu would look like. That said, he does have the belt here, which hopefully will be easier to plug on than Battle Armor He-Man's. There we go. It was. And that definitely changes things up for the better, I think. Bring his arms down. Can't put my arms down! Sorry, I just watched A Christmas Story because it was Christmas a couple of weeks ago, and What a fantastic movie. I need to see the sequel still. Slide this Oni Mask on here. And his little ponytail here does kind of help hold that in place, so I do like that. This isn't like a slip and slide in piece either, so that's cool. So there he is, all armored up and kind of looking more like a Mortal Kombat ninja, which I quite like, especially some of the later designs. And then we can either put his katana sword in the scabbard on his hip here, which it does stick out quite a bit. I almost wish he had two swords, but then again, he's only got one hand that can hold it, so I guess that's a stupid comment, or nitpick. Because a lot of the samurai and ninja characters I already got in my collection have like a long katana, and then they have a short one, wakizashi, or vice versa. I'm not well versed on my Japanese weaponry, but I've seen him with two. But for him to only have one, it kind of makes sense because he's only got one hand to wield it. But there is Jitsu, all armored up with his katana sword, looking pretty sweet. Definitely a must-have if you missed the Classics one, because he also had like a skirt piece like that, very 2000X-ish, I think, with that skirt piece. But yeah. So with that being said, before this review drags on any longer than it already has, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is Jitsu alongside his, well, what once was his arch nemesis, Fisto, of course from the Masters of the Universe Revelation series. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll get a new Eternia version of him very, very soon. I mean, we got one of freaking Zodak already. That said, personally, I'd like to see a Ninjor, because nothing against Jitsu here, but I always liked Ninjor more. He seemed like an improved version of Jitsu, and a little bit more evil looking, so hopefully they'll keep him as a villain, whereas Jitsu here can be a good guy, I guess, if you're okay with that. Then we also have the Battle Armor He-Man, who I took a look at yesterday, and check that out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. And of the two new Eternia figures from this particular wave of Masterverse, not including the Sun Man, because I don't have him yet, at least not as of the time I'm recording this video, I think Battle Armor He-Man's my favorite. I think he is definitely top 10 Masterverse material. Jitsu, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But that said, when are we going to get another Scareglow in this line? I mean, seriously, we've gotten so many characters that I'm just like, why? Like, nothing against Frosta, but why? And last, but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus Living Spawn, who's about neck and neck with good old Jitsu here. And brief side note, curious how Jitsu would stack up against good old Mandarin Spawn. That's a crossover waiting to happen, right? But with all that being said, time to wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and even though good old Jitsu here may not be my favorite of the new Eternia figures in the Masterverse line, I do still think he is a solid addition to the overall Masterverse line as a whole. Because, A, it's the first time we're getting him in the line. B, if you're not into the Mortal Kombat samurai look for this character, you could take all those pieces off and have a more traditional looking Jitsu, albeit without a proper bracer for the left arm. But if you manage to pick up one of the Faker figures from Revelation on clearance, I mean, he goes on clearance all the time, it seems, and even when you think they're out, they get more. I mean, my target's sitting on the Fisto wave right now, which is kind of weird, because I remember when Fisto and Scareglow and Stinkor were kind of going for a chunk of change for a little bit there, but I digress. Either way, you should be able to pick up a bracer for him to have a more traditional looking Jitsu, if that's what you prefer, that is. That said, me personally, I like the Mortal Kombat Samurai look for this character. I think it makes him look a lot cooler than he did. However, I swear I saw this guy pictured with shoulder pads before. Samurai looking ones, that is. And I do wish we got those here and that fist hand because, well, I might have displayed him with his sword stored on his hip in the sheath there, but I don't like the karate chop hand for the left side, so I'm just going to have him rocking his sword in his hand. Probably would have done that anyways, but hey, I like options, and if Fisto gets all three hands for the left side, why doesn't Jitsu? I mean, Fisto also didn't have extra armor pieces either, so maybe that's why. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you're so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when, dang it all, I thought this guy came with more stuff. Oh well, it is what it is, I suppose. And until next time, catch you guys later.